Here we go. Set. 90 Wolf.
Let him know.
Go.
Let him know.
Smooth.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, a bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. On second down, Dobbins, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, third and long.
Hey, Charlie. Yep.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Now back to throw. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Twist on travel.
He'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Let's go one more. Check 37. Check 37. Zip it. Go. Jim. Hey.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the bootleg. Faulkner sliding out of the pocket. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw. Faulkner. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
You ain't going nowhere. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Look at me. Zipper up now.
On second down now, Dobbins. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, Haywood! Hey! Yo, faster!
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Fair! Go!
On second down, Dobbins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Got an open man, it's QT. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
Check. Fresno.
Yeah. Ready?
On first down, Dobbins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Go! 18 Gators.
Shit.
On 2nd down now. Dobbins, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it, and this time it results in an interception.
Off the play fake. Faulkner under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Faulkner under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Faulkner, and the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do they do?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Hey, box truck.
50, Mike 50. Watch the curve.
Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. 20. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now a give, right side. Dobbins, and a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 24, out. Check, cross, let's go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Here we go with Johnson. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Kerryon Johnson turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. On 1st down, Jacobs. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's checking.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 43-yard line. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 52. I'm not ready. Check the backer.
On 4th down, Faulkner. And that is going to be incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They'll drop the throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Check 53's right. And let's get that ball again. Let's get that. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On first down, Faulkner. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Ben Gideon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
53, Mike.
Back to throw. Faulkner. And the pressure gets to him again. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Check 53's Mike. Check 53's Mike.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
Operating from the gun, Faulkner. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
60 or. I'm here all day. Hey, exit.
53, check 53. Check tight, check tight. Check tight. Check. Mike, 53.
Hey, Zoo. Spike.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So we erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
53 is the mic. 53. Check.
From the gun, Faulkner. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some...
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Take 4. Take 4.
2nd and 6. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's six. Pull it. High.
Check 13. Check 13.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike, 53.
Looking to throw on second down. Faulkner, open man, Arcega-Whiteside. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Looking to throw. Faulkner going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster, 30 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They're going to look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Faulkner. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Watch the whip.
On 1st and 10, Faulkner. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a carry for Jacobs, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Faulkner, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Right here, guys. Fight the
Bud!
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Hey, Mike.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Everyone got 4 down.
Blue draw quarter.
Check 3.
Ready?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And an alley to run. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Looking to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Mike. No chance.
Hey, high 7. Big grip.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line.
Hey, Delta.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
We got 3.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the 21, it's second and 10. Second and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Second and 4. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back to throw. Faulkner. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Third down and 7.
The Raiders on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is third and 7. Looking to throw. Faulkner. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Check safety, check safety. No check. Hey, check Mike 57.
Off play action. Faulkner. And he fends him off. Escaping the pressure right. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Protein spill. Switch. Leo. Check three.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Then he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Right back to him on first down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They run a draw here on second down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said.